Hi everyone, it's Kelly from Kellie's Bead Boutique. So if you're thinking, wow, she looks really tired this morning, it's because I am. It's 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning and I buzzed to the store to get a few things done, and I thought, I'm just gonna do a quick video to give you a heads up on what's coming up. So if you're new here, you may be wondering what's going on. There's been so many questions coming at me. I'm getting tons of emails and DMs and all sorts of things. So I'm going to just kind of reiterate what's going on, and then I'm going to take you on a little tour. Okay, so a few months ago, well, actually last year, I had to make the decision as to whether or not I was going to carry on in the present location I'm in. Rents are going sky high here, and I knew that there was just no way I was going to be able to afford to stay in this store and keep it a viable business. Our online business is bigger than the front store, and it just didn't make financial sense. So I had to make the decision to close my store, but I'm keeping my online store open. A lot of people are panicking, going, oh my God, you're going away forever. No, I'm not. I'm still going to be around, and probably in a much better fashion, in that I'm not going to be so tired. I'm not going to be stretched so thin. I hopefully will have some more time for some creativity, and I'm going to have all of my supplies at my fingertips. Right now, I live about 40 minutes away from my store, which I know that isn't that far. But last night, for instance, I was having a creative spurt. It was about 8:30 at night, and I felt like putting something together for a video, and I didn't have any of the right parts. So now I'll just be able to wander about 30 seconds down to the bottom part of my property, and we have a nice big warehouse that my husband's building for me. And we're getting closer. It's drywall stage, so I'm super excited. So that meant that I had to, give up my lease and then start the transition from going to a huge store to an online store. Now, that sounds like a crazy task, and it has been. We've been discounting all kinds of stuff, but you know what? I'm taking probably, I would say a good 85% of what we've got in the store. So what I thought I would do today is I would give you a little tour around the store to show you what we are actually going to be carrying. Because I get lots of comments saying, oh, I can hardly wait till you have more items on your website. Well, I have over 9,000 SKUs on my website. I'm actually trying to reduce that a little bit because it can be a little daunting trying to keep track of it. But what I'm trying to do is get rid of the stuff that doesn't really sell very well and get more new and interesting stuff. So you're going to see some shifts in our stock, but we're going to carry the core of what we've always carried and maybe some better. Gosh, I look rough today. Oh my goodness, this has been crazy. It's all consuming. I never do anything but work now. I'm really struggling trying to get videos out. I just don't have time, or as I said before, the stuff at home to create. So I'm hoping that once we get all moved in, let's say maybe by September, that life will get back to normal. I'll keep trying to do as many things as I can for you. But for now, this is what we're gonna get this week. So, all right, so let me just kind of show you around here. Now, I do apologize in advance. I have a gimbal, which is one of these little things that, you can put your phone on so that you don't get all the jerkiness, but we haven't had time to figure it out. So for now, we're gonna get a little bit of a jerky sort of tour around my store. So I do apologize for that in advance, so hopefully you don't get motion sickness, and I will do my best to edit out any huge jerks on here. So I'm gonna just kind of show you what we are gonna carry in the new online version of Kellie's Bead Boutique. So here's some of the chain that we carry. Now, all of our chain is super great quality. It comes from Korea, and it is all plated over, so I guess it's called electroplated over brass, which makes it naturally hypoallergenic. I am trying to get my tongue to work this morning, but it's not working very well, so you'll have to excuse me. Anyway, so it doesn't have any nickel or lead or cadmium or any of those bad things. It never tarnishes. Some of these have been up here for a very long time, and they never change color. So you cannot go wrong with our chain. Yes, it is a tiny bit more expensive than the stuff that you can buy, say at Michael's, but their stuff tarnishes and is full of all kinds of things that we don't know. So that is one of my things with chain. It has to be good quality. It can't cause problems. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that it won't cause problems because some people are just super sensitive to things, but we never get complaints, and we seldom get complaints about the quality of it, that's for sure. So I will be carrying all of our chain, and you can see we've got a lot of it. The other thing that we're gonna carry, of course, is our leather. Now, I am reducing this leather a little bit. It used to be completely full, and here's a few of the colors that are left. We just are taking some of the slower sellers and discounting them or putting them on our clearance page. So if you haven't been to our clearance page, pop over there because I'm gonna probably put some more on today. But what I am going to be doing is bringing in some new colors because, you know, I like to mix it up once in a while. So, of course, the favorite for me is that natural gray. It kind of has a bit of a brownie tone to it, but I love that one. It kind of goes with everything. Now, you can see right here, here's a really good example because we get this question a lot. Well, it doesn't look like the last one that I bought. Well, you see this 3mm and the 2mm on the right-hand side of the screen? They have sort of a brown tone. And then if we pan over to the 1.5 and 1mm, they're more of a sort of grayed out tone. That's just the way they come from the factory. Sometimes they have a little different tone to them. So, you know, you kind of get what you get when you order leather. But, you know, I think either one is kind of nice. And I don't mind mixing them together. I think they look perfectly fine. Now over here we have all of our Chinese knotting cord and our Irish wax linen. I know it's probably kind of hard to see on this little bunker that we have, but we're going to be carrying all those different colors. And then down in the bottom here, we have all of our 5 and 10mm leathers. And I'm hoping to expand on that a little bit. I've got a few different colors in my shopping cart as we speak. And I'm going to try and come up with a few more projects using these leathers too, because I think they're really beautiful. Now here is our huge selection of Eslon. So we have, I think I have over 60 different colors. So of course we're going to be carrying that. Everybody loves those. I use that in a lot of my projects because I think it's such a great product. And down here we have our vegan or, you know, non-animal leather, whatever we're going to call it. This is really popular because of the colors. There's just so many fun colors in here, and it's super affordable. It's only 50 cents for a whole meter of it. So we will be carrying that. And over here we have our Fireline and our Elasticity, our Soft Flex, our Opalon, all of our needles. Down here we have this jewelry tube. I know that Abby Berta from the Bead Place, she uses that a lot. So we do carry that. I just haven't come up with any projects with it yet. And here we have some of our glues. Now there is a bit of a supply chain issue right now. I'm having a hard time getting Loctite. And as you can see, all of our Fireline is sold out except for one kind of it. I don't know what's going on with Fireline. We're doing our best to bring more in, but there's really not much we can do right now. It's just, you know, like everything else in the world, we're having a bit of a challenge. And over here we have some spools of our knotted cord, which is just our Chinese knotting cord. This is 0.8mm, and we have a few colors. I might bring in a couple extra colors because this seems to be very popular. And here we have our Nymo thread. We just carry the small spools, but that I think it has like 200 yards on it or something, and they're pretty reasonable. Now you'll see some of the prices say $249. As we get the new ones in, they're going up to $350. Everything's going up. And I do my best to absorb some of the prices, but on some things I just can't. But we have a pretty good selection of Nymo thread, and we carry size D for reference. We also carry the Griffin silk. If you don't know what Griffin silk is, it's a silk cording, and this one is about 2 meters long. And now this particular one is a size 10. They go all the way from, I think, 00 up to 16. And we carry a really good selection of colors and sizes. And the nice thing is it has this needle on there. So it's kind of perfect for knotting and all sorts of things when you need to get a needle through your beads. So this is really reasonably priced, and we do have a good selection, but we will carry even more of that. So that is the Griffin silk. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that what I'm going to show you is my favorite part of the store. So this is our check glass bead section. So this is just a small selection on one side of it. Go all the way up and all the way over. I'll try to get close. Here's the ever popular little hibiscus beads. Look at that section. I have my staff go crazy when they have to pick these. Look at that one there. So pretty. So there's just so many colors. They go all the way down here. I really need to create some stuff with these, don't I? I'm just looking at them going, they're just too pretty to sit here, so I need to do something with them. So I have a really good selection of that. And we have our wild rose. That one is really popular. And this is one I just used in a project. And then down here we have some of our, what are these things called? I can never remember. They're the English cut. And I love this one. I think this one's almost sold out. I'm gonna have to try and get more. And of course, that one's my favorite. You know, you can always tell it is my favorite. Anything with the blues and the browns. And then over here we have all of the rondelles. Now, if you've never watched Jennifer Miller, she has a lovely little channel on YouTube, and she just did a video yesterday using that particular bead. This one is our coral with bronze, and she made a really sweet little pair of earrings with gold. Just lovely. So if you haven't gone over to Jennifer's channel, is Jennifer with one N. Pop over to her channel and say hi from Kelly. So look at that. We have all of those rondelles, and that goes way up the wall, and it's quite wide. We've got a, you know, I'd be here forever panning all of those. So this is my absolute favorite section of the store. And we'll be taking all of these with us. And I'm gonna make sure that everything is on the website because that's my new thing, I have to. Okay, and over here we have more check glass. We have our 6mm rounds and we have our 4mm rounds. So I have quite a nice collection of the colors, and I'll be carrying more. I've just been sort of weighting it down because who wants to move all this stuff, right? So that's what we have available now. And then I'm just gonna pan down here because we have our 6mm fire polish and a huge 4mm fire polish section because that seems to be the most popular size in this store anyway. And then down there we have our 3mm section, and that actually is really jam-packed. It's just kind of far away right now. So we have a really wonderful selection of fire polish, and I do my best to keep my prices as tight as possible. So we've had to move some things around in the store because we've got some things on sale and some things we don't. So the girls just popped these over here, but here's just a very, very, very tiny little selection of some of our charms. And I mostly carry Tiara cast because I really love their quality, but I do have a few other things mixed in there. And then over here on this bunker, which I know looks completely overwhelming, this has everything in it. It has charms and bead caps and cones, and it has, what else do we have in here? We have the stitch arounds, and we have our buttons and our toggles and all our cord ends and metal beads and rings and you name it, it's all in here. And we keep it in here for a couple reasons. One, they don't tarnish. Two, we can keep inventory on it. We have a barcode there, and that girls just bring that up to the till, and then we scan it, and then I know how many I have, and that helps with inventory, which will really help with the online business. So this is just really gonna work great for us, but we're gonna probably organize it a little bit differently at the new place. But you can see just in here, this is a very small selection of some of the charms and base metal findings that we have. And I am working night and day trying to make sure that all of these are on the website. And we do have a very teeny tiny sterling silver section, just kind of some of the basic findings like toggles and ear wires and closed rings, jump rings. We have some balls. We have some split rings and clamshells and crimp covers and crimps and head pins. So, and a few charms here. There's some really cute charms down here. So we have just a small section, just enough to kind of keep people happy, but I'll maybe, get a little bit more as we go along. Now over on this table, I have all sorts of things that I use in videos, like these little tassels and fun little findings. And most of these are on the website, but again, I'm working daily trying to make sure that all of this sort of stuff is on the website. Here we have some of these 3-hole guru beads that we get asked about all the time. And you know that you've seen this in my Easy Men's bracelet and a couple other projects, but we have those large hole tubes that are super popular. We have some more tiara cast things and all sorts of stuff. This is a really lovely collection of the, what do they call that? Hamilton gold. So it's not quite so bright. It's got that little bit of a brush look to it. And that sells out very fast, so I have to reorder some of that. And over here we have our large hole bead section, and it is a little on the lean side right now. I'm putting together an order for my supplier, so we do have a fairly decent selection of large hole beads. Now, maybe you can leave me a comment below. I was talking to my supplier the other day, and I was asking her if they could come up with about a 5x8 rondelle that's faceted but large hole. So it would look something like our rondelle beads that we use from the check glass beads, but they would be semi-precious. If that interests you, leave me a comment below and say, yes, please, we would love to have those beads. I have not really ever carried them. Most of the beads I carry are rounds, but I thought, maybe it might be something to have a little bit of a facet and a nice small sort of narrow rondelle. So let me know below in the comments if that's something that interests you. So I get my wood directly from the Philippines, from this lovely family, and I just placed an order. So if you've been waiting for rosewood, it's going to be back in stock probably in about 3 weeks. But I also get some of my specialized wood from India, and I just got in some sandalwood. So that's a 6mm sandalwood, and it's only $24.99. Now they say that sandalwood is one of the most expensive woods in the world, and the scent in it can last for decades. So you're really getting good quality on this one. Now I often get asked if I would carry 8mm, but there is a huge jump in price from 6mm to 8mm. So unfortunately, I don't think my customers would want to pay what I would have to charge for that. So for now, we just have the 6mm, and that is also part of our $200 deal. When you buy our semi-precious stones, if you purchase $200 worth of them, it automatically will jump down to $100 if you apply a certain coupon. I'm going to put a link in the description box below to our coupon page so that you can see all the different coupons that we have. Now I am going to maybe do some adjusting on the website once it gets going a little further down the road so that we don't have to use so many coupons. But for now, that's the best way to save 50% on your strands. So I also got in these really fun mala strands. So these are 108 beads, so you can make a mala, and they're beautiful wood. They kind of look like the sandalwood. So that's the 6mm, and that's the 8mm. And this is also part of our $200 deal. So this one you could get for $6.50 for a strand of 108 beads, and this one you can get for about $5. So they're really good quality and really great price. Now, one of the things that we've been known for over the years are the semi-precious that we carry. I can't even show you all of them, but there's some of them going all the way down that wall. We have a huge stock of semi-precious. I am going to have to weed through this just a little bit more, but we are going to carry mostly everything that we have. And if they're not on the website, they will be on the website fairly soon. So again, this is part of the $200 deal. So if you look at a price and you think, oh gosh, I don't want to pay $24.99 for that, well, you would get 50% off. And if you're really smart, you'll make sure to sign up to my newsletter, because often I will put these on sale at 55% off just for that extra little bonus. And I think a little birdie told me that might be coming up soon. So make sure you go and sign up for my newsletter. And to do that, you're just going to go to the very front page of my website at www.kellysbeadboutique.com. And on the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little box that says sign up for the newsletter. You sign up for that, you'll get a coupon for your first purchase that will save you 20% off. And then you'll get a newsletter. And I don't send them out very often. I'm sending them out a little more often now because of what's been going on. But it'll give you, what's going on for the week. Like if we have new product, if we're having a sale, maybe a new video, all that sort of stuff. So that's a really great way of keeping up with what's going on. So these are our $5 bag findings, and they are fabulous. We sell so many of them because they're really a great value. We have beads and charms and buttons and all sorts of different findings and head pins and ear wires, and you name it, we have it in here. Now these are a great deal because they're $5 a bag. But if you buy 3 bags, you get them for $4 each. And there's a coupon that will be in that coupon list that you might go to. You don't have to buy 3 of the same. You can buy any 3 and you get $1 off. Super great value, and it's a really great way of building your stash at an affordable price. Now over here we have our seed beads. So on the right-hand side, we have our delicas, and then our 15s and our 11s. Did I say 11? I meant to say 11. Maybe that's the Canadian in me. We just shorten everything. We also have our size 8s and our 6s. So I am expanding this line a little bit. I just ordered a whole pile of new 6s the other day. I would say probably our 11s and our 6s are our most popular sizes, but we do sell a ton of delicas. So I know that I don't have the most humongous selection, but I think we're doing pretty good. I think we have, well over 150 different colors there. So again, we do try to keep them a little more affordable. Now, normally you would see them in these little tubes, but the tubes, because of the supply chain issues, have just gone up to a price that I'm just not willing to pay. So now you will receive them in the little bags. Same amount, same price, everything will be the same. They'll just be in a bag instead of a tube. Now over here we have our tile beads and our tila beads. So we have a really great selection of tile beads, and I think I need to do a project with those. We also have a small little selection of tile beads, or tila beads, I should say. So these ones are from the Czech Republic, and they are a bit more sort of they're a little heavier looking, and they're a little rounded on the edges. I'll see if I can zoom in on one of these. So these are the Japanese tila beads, and you can see they're a little more squared, and they are just ever so slightly smaller. I do interchange them on projects, but they are just, you know, a completely different sort of thing. And then up here, we've started carrying the half tilas. And a lot of people like those for wrap style bracelets and that sort of stuff. Now with Swarovski kind of leaving the world, as far as beads going, we have had to change to Preciosa crystals. So you can see that my poor little selection here just keeps getting decimated. People come in and just take them all. So that there is actually a double side there. But I continually try to get more of them. And because it's hard to get them in strands, we're probably gonna go, on some of them anyway, we'll be going to bagged. I can keep it a little bit more affordable, but I am going to bulk that section up a little bit as time goes by, and they will be all on the website. Now, one of the questions I do get asked often is, well, what are we going to do about Rivolis? Because there doesn't seem to be much of a replacement. I have just recently ordered some of the new Rivolis from the Czech Republic, and we'll have a look at those, and hopefully they're decent quality. But they're going to be coming out with new things as time goes by, so we will have some substitutes pretty quick. We also have these really great silk tassels. I have, I don't know, it looks like about 10. I think I have 11, but we're out of stock on one of them. And I'll try and maybe pick up a few more colors. These ones are about 2.5 to 3 inches, and they just make that perfect little ending on a necklace. And these are super popular at only $1.75. Now here's our wire section. At the bottom here, we have our square wire and our half square. And we have our memory wire, and then we have our craft wire. And we carry everything from 18 gauge up to 28 gauge. I used to carry all the heavier gauges, but they honestly just never sold. So I'm just trying to carry what people like. In here we have our head pin section. We have our famous balled up head pins. Everybody seems to love those. And then we have our regular head pins. And then up here we have closed rings. And then we have more open rings. And we have a really good selection of jump rings. And my jump rings are either from the same company that provides my chain, or they're from Tierra Cast. So you're guaranteed good quality, nothing that's going to make you break out in a rash or anything like that. I also have a nice selection of ear wires, and a lot of these aren't on the website, so that's one of the things that I have to work on. So we'll be adding all of those. And then we have our crimps, some crimp tubes, and then these are some of those Tierra Cast charm keepers, and I need to order a few more of those in. And we do have all these drawers all over the store, and I love them. They're super great for storage. Right now, everything in here is 70% off in-store only, and I probably will start carrying a few other things. So that's what we keep in these, and I'm going to probably get some fun new things. If you see anything you like, let me know and I can send it off to you. And lastly, here's our tool section. Now we have whittled this way down. I used to have an entire 2 walls of tools at one point, but we found that people just like the certain things that they like. And mostly that is just the 4 tools that I talk about in my videos all the time. So there's all the little tools that we are going to be carrying. And one of the things that we do carry is this nice little tool set. It is a bit on the heavy side, so if you place a larger order, I may have to ask you for a little bit extra for shipping because they are quite heavy. But they have all of the tools that you would ever need, which is a really great little find. So that is our small little tool section. All right, so there you go. There's a brief overlook of everything that we have in the store. Now, I'm sure I've missed a whole pile of things because there's stuff in the back. And of course, we are going to carry our kits. That's going to be something that I come out with, hopefully on the weekly basis. People are asking if I'm going to do more live events, like maybe some live sales or some just lives to show you a demo. And that is my hope, that our internet will work really well in our new place. It's very rural, so it might be a little spotty at times. So I'm crossing my fingers that my husband can get it running properly. But we have all kinds of plans for the future. And so I really hope that you guys are going to join me and follow along in this new adventure, because I have no idea what it's going to look like. It's going to be one of those things that grows through time. But I'm super excited. Right now, I'm kind of in panic mode because there's so much to do. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm just like, ugh. But I know it'll all get done. I have the most fantastic staff, and they're all helping me through it. Now, one of the questions we get asked a lot is time-wise. So our last day of business in this store is August 13th. It's a Saturday. We're going to have a little get together with the staff and, you know, shed a few tears. We've had a fabulous run. It has been the most wonderful time of my life. It's been the most exhausting time of my life, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. This has really been the best experience, but it's time for change. And I'm really hoping that everything goes smoothly and that I can settle into something that makes me super, super happy. So if you're planning on visiting the store, make sure you come before August 13th. As you can see, we still have a ton of stock. A lot of it is on sale. The stuff that I'm not taking is what's on sale right now. So most of our base metal findings are 70% off. So anything that's kind of not Tierra cast is 70% off right now. We have all sorts of beads and findings and charms and, you know, toggles and buttons and things like that that are on super, super cheap. All of our single beads are on 70% off. We have display items and furniture and those lights that you can see up in the corner. I handmade those. I'm gonna just pivot this over there a little bit. There we go. I handmade those 13 years ago. I sat there for a couple weeks and hand did each link on those. We've sold one of them. They're $50 and they make a really cute little pendant, maybe in, say, a girl's bathroom or it would be really nice in somebody's closet or something like that. So there's 2 left if you're interested. So that's about what's going on in Kellie's Bead Boutique right now. So lots of crazy, lots of good, lots of packing, and lots of giggles along the way. We've been actually having a lot of fun with it. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. So I want to thank you so much for following along with me today. I really appreciate all the love and support you've all been sending me through this journey. Everybody keeps, you know, you're my cheerleaders. You're like, it'll be great for you, Kellie. You're going to love it so much and we'll be here for you. And that means the world to me because this is very scary for me to do this. This is my life. This is what I've been doing for the past 20 years. And so to change is something that's, you know, really, really hard, but I know that it's for the better. And I think that at the end of it, you guys are going to really appreciate the change because things will be really good and really positive. So thanks again for following around with me today. I want to thank you for all your love and support. And maybe next week I'll actually have a tutorial, something that I can show you that'll be fun. I have lots of things up here, just no time to do them. So thanks again, and we will see you on the next one.